High school teachers, how aware of your students' drama were you? Any good stories? Not a high school teacher, but this happened in one of my classes in high school. Our religion teacher was a pretty cool guy. Didn't really do shit all in his classes, so people often talked. Now the more popular people had a tendency to talk in a voice such that the entire class could hear. I was in the unfortunate situation where I sat in front of them. One class. One of the girls, let's say Jamie, was talking to her friends about how she lost her virginity. Jamie was saying that she didn't regret it, and that she was in love with her boyfriend. The conversation continued to them talking about whether it was good or not. Jamie said that the first couple of times aren't really good for anyone. It is at this point that they realize they are speaking loud enough for the teacher to hear. So one of Jamie's friends, Yamila, said to the teacher, "We are talking about doing laundry." It was at this point that our awesome teacher replied, "Maybe you need a new washing machine." TL. Dr. My religion teacher found out one of the students was having crappy sex and told her she needed a better dude. Student teacher here. Some of my 9th graders have had sex with more people than I have. And I'm almost 30. Pretty aware. My first year teaching, another teacher intercepted a note and told me I needed to read it. It was between two students, a boy and a girl. Both were dating other kids, and in the note they were talking about losing their virginity and what they had done sexually. The boy described everything in detail, at the local mall's shipping area, truck stop, BJS, at the movies, etc. The girl's response was the thing that appalled me, and I still remember exactly what she wrote to this day. "We have done everything possible except cheat on each other's chests." Oh. Did I mention that they were 8th graders? SMH. I was a substitute teacher's assistant for a while. One teacher I worked for told me about overhearing a conversation between two 5th graders. One kid was always trying to act tough and say we was in a gang. He was telling another boy about his weekend and how he was smoking and beating people up and being a general badass thug. The other boy responded, "Yeah, but ya can't read." On one hand, I definitely know things they don't know that I know. Friends reference. I'll overhear conversations about having a stupid fight with their boyfriend, that they skip their morning classes, etc. I'm aware which seniors party on the weekends and which ones don't. However, it always amazes me when I find out student experiences that I was completely in the blue about. When a great girl who did well in school told me her mother tried to commit suicide a year ago and she's been keeping her from doing it since. Finding out a flaky student of mine is the father of 2, when parents are the ones who won't wake up in time to take their kids to school. And that's why they're frequently late. So it just depends. I teach at an alternative high school, and my class is known for being one of the few places where everything is fair game. Everything. I've talked about everything from drug use, both soft and hard, family problems, relationship problems, sexuality problems, and everything in between. I've debated, counseled, and discussed. But more than anything, I've listened. What teenagers want, more than anything, is to be listened to. They are developing the part of their brain that processes decisions. And they want to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. I think that is one thing most parents don't understand. Teenagers don't want to be told what to do because they want to figure that out. I could tell a few stories, but to be honest, I expect my comment will be buried. But if I get enough interest, I'll write one down. I'll stay away from the deeply personal stories. I'll just write down the stupid high school stuff, and there is lots of it. Highly aware. At one of the schools I long-term subbed at, 3 months, a bunch of the senior boys and girls went to Florida for spring break. At some point during their partying and hooking up, someone contracted a nasty case of crabs. Since their relationships were weirdly incestual, partner swapping, not sibling business, all 12 of them wound up with the pubic dwellers. The real drama began when they got back to school and tried to deny the rumors, shift blame from one person to the other. Many laughs were had in the teacher's lounge. My mum teaches at a fairly dodgy high school in the town next to ours, and yes, teachers always know about drama. And they talk about it really? She's going out with him? She could do better. My favorite story was when she broke up a fight between two 15-year-old boys and was told that one of the boys had gone to the other's birthday party, got drunk and got with his mum. Not his own mum. The birthday boy's. Did he think he was on Xbox Live? I hear it, and yes. It's also obvious when two kids in my class either start or stop dating. The thing that creeps me out is the teachers who get obsessed with being up on everything. I know one who keeps a notebook, and I swear she writes the gossip sheet in there constantly. When I was 17, I was in law class, drawing on my crush's back with my fingertips. My most awesome teacher yelled designate. Fondle him after class. I was mortified. And I kinda want to go back to high school to tell that teacher that 13 years later, I'm happily married to that crush. And I fondle him whenever I want. Edit. Wow. You guys. Thanks for the karma. You're all a bunch of romantics. Aren't you? Everything. And no good stories. Because it is high school drama. And no one cares in the real world. Well, I remember a sophomore discussing with her friend during break how she was going to get a threesome for her boyfriend for his birthday. I thought, how times have changed. Threesomes are the new blowjob. Apparently. If that's the case, I cannot ducking wait for my birthday. I intentionally make seating charts that put specific guys and girls next to each other on the off chance that they'll talk and find a common interest. I'm sure this has made a bunch of sap moments. But a few kids have made new friends or even started dating because of it. Teacher here. Yes and no. I had no idea my student was pregnant until she stood up one day in class and was clearly 6 months pregnant. But if you whisper anything in class, I hear you. And I don't forget. I volunteered at a boarding school in rural India. We had some pretty strict rules, i.e., absolutely no dating, to be culturally appropriate. And make sure none of our students' parents freaked out that we were indoctrinating them with Western ideals or whatever. Nonetheless, we knew all the couples. Who liked who. Which students were gay but didn't know it yet. My favorite was this one boy who all the girls had a crush on. He was known for meeting girls behind a particular tree shrubbery bush to hold hands or maybe even sneak a kiss, and was thereafter known as Bush Romeo. I used to teach at a mid-sized suburban high school out in California. To be honest, I never paid much attention to what was going on with the kids since they seemed so transient. There were always a couple of them disappearing without any notice. But no one ever really cared. And there were always new students taking their place. The only thing I ever really saw that stood out was what seems like an unusually close relationship between a transfer student and a member of the faculty. I couldn't say for sure that it was inappropriate. But she sure did spend a lot of time in his office. Even after school hours. All in all, it was actually a pretty good job. Right up until the mayor turned into a giant snake and ate Principal Snider. My group of friends, pretty much just tell our favorite teacher most of the dumb stuff we do. She either doesn't believe us, think we're retarded, or that we're just trying to be funny. Then she makes good-natured jokes at our expenses. She's great. So you could also say my early period classes. The teachers knew how ridiculously stoned I was every day. Yes. They were probably jealous. Some of my students are so obviously stoned. Smelled like weed. Talk about weed. There's nothing we can really do about it anyway, at least at my school. So, I was a high school substitute at 21 years old. It was the funniest thing ever, coming in and having the full-time teachers fill me in on the latest drama at breakfast. There was this old retired colonel, and he was telling me how a girl was upset because she got asked to prom by 2 boys, but she really wanted this other boy and she was really upset. I just started laughing and he looked at me like he had been giving some actual lecture. From my fiancée, who's a HS math teacher. Some guy starts itching at a girl that she gave him a STD in front of the class. She goes to the bathroom, comes back, and throws a cup of liquid on him. It was her piss. My husband says the awareness of the drama comes and goes. The big stuff definitely he's aware of, but usually he doesn't give a duck about who is dating whom. So he doesn't pay attention. Not a teacher. But I feel this story is sort of relevant. Back in high school I wasn't popular, so I was only in on the nerd drama. One time instance I was assigned to a group with some gossipy popular girls. And I learned that not only did one of the more popular guys in the class have genital herpes, but that the teacher was aware of it. Apparently I had been totally oblivious and had missed a moment instance where our teacher had said, and some people have herpes. The teacher has apparently looked directly at the popular boy who had herpes. And the guy had turned beet red. We know everything. First, because you can't whisper for sheet, I hear everything you think you are whispering to your neighbor. Second, students like to gossip. And they gossip not just to other students but to teachers as well. It doesn't matter that I don't want to know this. There is still someone there telling me about it the next morning. Third, teachers are bigger gossips. It may be you got into Harvard. You broke up with your boyfriend of 3 years. You were caught smoking on campus or caught cheating. A teacher will probably tell me about it. For God's sake, shut up. I don't want to know anything. I hear you, students, swearing. I hear about your parties. I know you got drunk this weekend. I've heard who you last slept with. I've heard how you moved to a different town and should be going to that school but are still here. I've heard how your parents are abusing you and I've reported it. I heard how you want to be up so and so because they have no swag and stole your girlfriend. I also hear it from the other teachers and students. Word to the wise. Stop talking about it in school.